9 months ago now, we introduced a whole new family of tools for the web designers and developers called the Edge tools and services. Now, I've come and shown people here these tools before. I'm going to show you again and show you some of the things that we've changed on them. But today we've talked about, do you know who talked about Muse? You saw Muse before, really cool, design a website, no code. Then I've talked about Dreamweaver, and now I'm also going to talk about the Edge tools and services. So you can go, well, which one do I use? Do I use Dreamweaver? Do I use Edge tools? Do I use which of these am I meant to use? Okay, here's how to explain it. Right down this end are graphic designers that just do graphic design. They're probably print designers, they use InDesign all the time. And the sight of code makes them feel sick. Every time they see a line of code, it scares them. They hate it. That's these people down this end. Every so often, their friend or someone else, who's nearby, it could be the little shop around the corner, a small business, someone's running a small business, whatever it is, and they go, I need a website. I'll go and talk to Paul because he's a graphic designer and he can build me a website. And I go, I can't build your website. I'm a graphic designer. I get terrified by code. That's what Muse is for. Muse is for graphic designers that get asked to build those sort of small, medium, little websites that sort of have, half a dozen, 6, 10 pages. That's for those, that's what Muse is for. It's really cool, no code, I can lay stuff out, I run it, I publish my website, and it's done, I don't need to touch any code. That's what Muse is for those small to medium business, flexible ones, the graphic designers get up. Step along a little bit, and we've still got graphic designers here. I'm a little bit scared of code, but I can sort of, this is Dreamweaver. All of these people now are Dreamweaver. I'm a designer, I'm okay with a little bit of code, I'm okay with a bit more code, I'm a designer, I'm a developer, I can do cool stuff, I'm a developer and a designer, I live here. That's Dreamweaver. It's the one-stop shop for everything I need to do with a web page. I need to manage my sites, I need to work with a back-end database, I need to design, I need to develop, I need to work with different languages. That's Dreamweaver. It's the one-stop shop, the one big application does all of those things. That's Dreamweaver. Right down this end, in the dark room, this is where the Edge, in fact I'm joking a little bit because this is the Edge tool and services. These are the developers who they don't want an application that does everything. They want the clean, fast, mean, light code editor where all I do is I type code. That's what I do. No, but they just type code. And they're cool about it. They would never open up a big application. They just want something light, fast, that lets them type code. That's what they do. That's, to some extent, some of the Edge tools and services. But the Edge tools and services also stretch across all of the Dreamweaver users and up this end, the developers, because they do different things. Let me show you some of the Edge tools and services on here. Oh, I've got a note. Oh, I'm getting more time. They're just letting me go till whenever. That's good. Cool. I'll keep going until you drag me on. Okay. So I'm going to start. I'll show you one of these sort of mean, fast developer for the really geeky people down the other end. It's called Edge Code. You saw me do it before. I'm not going to work with this folder. Let's close that. Yeah, let's not say that. Okay. I just want to open this bit. This page is good. Okay, you'll notice that what I've done here is I've just inside Edge Code. It's a very, very lightweight little application. This is a website that I've got here. I just want to open up, let's say for example, let's just open up the index page. So this is HTML. This is code. This is all I'm doing is writing code. And Edge code is just built for HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. It's built for the web. It's not for coding other bizarre things. It's just HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Have a guess what it's written in. What is Edge code written in? HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. It's actually a browser. It's actually built inside itself. And in fact, we used Edge code to build Edge code. That's a little bit weird. But the application is actually developed inside itself. Okay, so here's the HTML. So how does this work? This is people who just come in here into the body, and I want to add a canvas tag. So you'll notice that it's doing code completion, code introspection. You know, I can change whether that's canvas tag. Whoops, sorry, I missed it. Actually, let me try that again. It's a canvas tag, and you know, I can do, ID, and it's giving me all of the code completion, code introspection. It's writing everything for me. If I'm doing CSS, so I've got a CSS file here. You'll notice that inside the CSS as well. If I come in here, let's start typing something like color. It's giving me all of the code completion for the possible CSS what I'm doing. So this is what serious coders want. They don't want stuff getting in their way. They just want code completion, code introspection, and they just want it fast and light and neat. The cool thing, let me show you what's cool about, or a few of the cool things about Edge code that make it different to other editors. The first thing is, the preview inside Edge code is actually my web browser. So if I click on that, there it is behind. Here is my web browser running that web page. So that's the web page running there. And so when I'm working inside Edge code here, everything on this page is what I see, and I see it updated. Every time I make a change, I see the update happen in the browser. So, I don't know, where have we got something on here we can have, see if I can find some content there. We can never have enough of nature. It says we can never have enough of nature. I think I'm just going to change that. You see, as soon as I highlight it in Edge code, it highlights across here in my web browser. Let's change that. We can never have enough of Paul. So that, and now we can never have enough of Paul. I'm being silly. But you see how I'm making changes here. It's automatically updating in my browser. I don't need to, push it up to a slow or anything like that. The other cool thing about it, here's the next bit that's cool. So if I come into here, say for example, I'm working on the page and I want to see the CSS, the design for a particular element on here. Normally what I'd have to do is I'd have to go, okay, well this is the image tag. So what I need to do now is go to my CSS and I need to search my CSS and find the image tag. And that's a nightmare, that's just silly. So what we've done inside Edge code is that all I need to do, say for example I want to find the CSS that relates to the nav image, I just click in it and hit Command E or Control E on a PC, and it opens up the CSS right inside the page for me, so I can see all of the different CSS that's attached to that particular element. Say for example, I want to come down here and see the block quote. So here's a block quote here. I can just hit Command Enter, and it tells me that the margin in here is 1em 40 pixels. So I can actually just come into that and just start changing, changing the content in here, change the margin, just maybe make that 3. I'm making changes. Oh, I've done it to the boilerplate. I shouldn't have done that. So as I make changes, I can see it in the browser. I can do the CSS changes in line, which is sort of pretty cool. A whole bunch of other things in here. I'm not sure if I'm going to spend too much time on. Oh, one thing that's really cool, and I'm going to introduce another product here while I do this. Oh, I should also say, if I want to use any particular fonts inside my page, I could just come into my CSS. Say, for example, I wanted to use, I don't know, I've got font families everywhere. Here we go in the container. If I want to put a font family in here, I can just start typing, do font family, and whoops, sorry, don't put that in. You'll notice that here I've got this choice of different sort of fonts down here. For some reason, I'm not getting this, so I'm going to skip out of there while okay, I'm going to read that now. What else was going to show? Oh, I'm going to jump out of here. I'm going to show you another application